Hello fellow YouTubers, this is Utah Moses here to give you my Blu-ray review for the film We Need to Talk About Kevin. The film involves a widow mother named Ava who tries to rebuild her life after her son Kevin has committed a horrendous crime at his school. So the film goes into several timelines from before to after and somewhat to the event of the crime that he's committed. So basically, this film shows you the nightmare that people go through when they enter adulthood and how your child can inflict such an emotional wound to you, or just at least a life-altering change in your life that could go for the worse. So, some of the people that have watched We Need to Talk About Kevin say that children can't be born evil from genetics or stress, but I see this as a art house horror film, along with some others that interpret it that way. So Tilda Swinton, and I just want to get this out of the way, I never found her to be attractive in any movie that I've seen her in so far.
She looks like a bird.
But she is a terrific actress, and seeing her play the tortured mother, she was phenomenal. And it was a surprise that she didn't got nominated for an Oscar for that. And I have to give mad props to all the actors that have played the different Kevins. Like, when he's a baby, he just takes a mental toll on Swinton's character, and when he's a child, he just basically strained the relationship and wrecks everything of hers he can find. And once he turns into a teenager, he's just a flat-out sociopath. Everything he says is just unusual. It's just creepy as hell what he says. You don't know if you should either get him a psychiatrist or someone just to beat some sense out of him.
Are there any who are special?
Right. What bands am I listening to these days, right? Next, you can wheedle about whether there isn't some cute little cunt in the front row who's got me itchy. That way you can segue into how it's all up to me, of course, but before bawling the chick in the hallway, I might decide to wait until I'm ready. Right around dessert, you can ask about drugs. Real careful, like, because you don't want to scare me into, like, lying my head off. So you have to say how you've experimented. Then finally, once you've sucked up that entire bottle of wine, you can go all gooey-eyed and say how nice it is to spend quality time together. You can scooch over and put your arm around my shoulder and give it a little squeeze.
So at this point, Ava plans on becoming pregnant again and gives birth to a girl, and Kevin just starts being cruel to her, and you're thinking, oh, that's just sibling rivalry for you, but no. This isn't anything like sibling rivalry, where it just levels it out. He's constantly cruel to her at the point where his actions against her is just unforgivable. And this isn't because she's his sister, it's because she's Ava's daughter, if you can follow that. Now, John C. Reilly, people say that he was miscast as the father, and I thought the casting of him was appropriate because he had some lightheartedness to the character where all he wants to do is try to hold the family together, get them to get along with each other, but it doesn't seem to work out because Kevin is just so arrogant to his mother while he's very appreciative to his father. And there is some intentional humor in the film, which some people don't like, but I can't help myself laughing at some of it. And someone had once said that humor is needed more for dramas than it does for comedies. So, the film is directed by Ryan Ramsey. I don't know if I'm saying the director's name right, but she has directed Ratcatcher and Malvern Color, 2 feature films that I looked up on her resume, and We Need to Talk About Kevin is the only film that I've watched of hers, and there were several cringeworthy moments in the film. Her direction is the Lars von Trier standards of filmmaking, where there's some stuff that you can't handle or that it would appear shocking to you. And I kind of like We Need to Talk About Kevin more than any of Lars von Trier's films, because she also adds a lot more stuff to it that you wouldn't see a Lars von Trier film kind of drag on about. And there's this one weird visual scene, and this starts very early in the film, where there's this tomato festival that Ava is involved with. And some of the shots in the film are done beautifully alone, where there's a scene where we see vaguely Ava giving birth to Kevin, and another scene where there's a zoom up of Kevin's face, and we see a Target sign on the reflection of Kevin's eye, which I thought was very eerie. And even when they're playing soundtrack songs in the background during some scenes, I found those moments to be very creepy as well. So overall, Kevin I find to be a very skin-crawling kind of film, and this is indeed recommendable if you like these kind of nightmarish, David Lynch-related kind of films. And like I said before, this is better than a Lars von Trier film just because it has a lot more character development, and I like some of the stuff that they throw into the story that made it much more provocative. So I give this my 5 full stars. It may not sound like it, but this is my favorite film of 2011, believe it or not. And I know I may get some shit for it, but I find this film to be not graphic, but very dark to watch. So, on to the special features. This is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack, so let's see what's on here. We have behind the scenes of Kevin, extra footage from the Tomato Festival, in conversation with Tilda Swinton at a film festival, interview with author Lionel Shriver, and a theatrical trailer. So, all those things are great, but I really wish there was a commentary track to this. So that's all I got to say. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back later. Until then, this is Yuto Moses, signing out.